first one, I guess you would say more so, when I wrote it, I was thinking more so along the lines of mental health. Because I think a lot of times we really just skip over that as an aspect of health that needs to be maintained. And yeah, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but yeah, like for about 2-3 years, around like my junior high school area, like I lived in a homeless shelter, like a hypothermia shelter. And so I guess I finally started, I wrote about that. So here goes. My father is not alive. He is a promise maker with a low success rate. He is big-boned ambition, squeezing into the tightest casings of know-how, but sometimes the stars align and he wins. Sometimes a middle school me with the A4 bus for a sunrise would get lost in the rooster call of daddy's baritone, that megaphone's diaphragm he stole to grant the day's permission to start. And I actually forget that homeless shelter wasn't a bit like my home, wasn't at all like the library where we were supposed to be going that day. We showed up there confused and without luxury of looking back. My father was cheap. Couldn't even afford a name brand lie. Most kids, when forced to a place against their will, receive the fib of Disneyland or Hawaii, but ours was the library. But some lies are ugly ducklings waiting for puberty, and this one was such, waiting to become beautiful and true to me. I just had to look hard enough. We were months removed from a house that grew sick of us, so sick it caught indigestion. A bad case of bills backing up soon. It vomited our belongings across the lawn. Add a few great days, and here we are. This shelter is indeed a library, and we were all open books, mowed with mirrors for hardcovers we judge one another's by, with our titles burdened along our spines, spanning from stories such as memoirs of a broken home all the way to poverty, a quick guide on how to lose it all. Mine's with an autobiography, not so much a sad song, just a recalculating of thoughts of 2-hour-long commute to school where the news always made the front page of my face. Classmates viewed it as the funny pages. I am now delegated as the homeless butt of every joke. Kids can be cruel, but never as cruel as life. This very life that shunned the light away, taught its sky to close its eyes to our plight at night, to sleep comfortably with the rest of the world as we bottom barrel dwellers lay on pillows of our hardest thoughts, quarantined from society, praying that as our stories unfold, there will be chapters of laughter, chapters of triumph, maybe a footnote of hope to remind us not to fear, to remind us to never question how we got here, to understand in a world illiterate to our endings and prologues, our pain will remain a fallen tree's cry and a deaf forest, a dusty book, dusty books. Oh gosh, this is a new poem, sorry. A fallen tree's cry and a deaf forest, a dusty book whose father never lies, never to be checked out of the shelter, which was actually a library, but you'll find that God is a master librarian, knows where we belong, knows where he showed us, and simply as all librarians wishes to complete his work in silence. Maybe we oblige him. Understand that we ought not wear our doubts so loudly. Understand that things take time. Oh God, I'm forgetting this poem, I'm so sorry. Understand. Understand things take time to be beautiful, take time to be appreciated, some time to make sense. Sometimes the stars align and we win. Alright, so since I messed up on and this one kind of happened, anybody who knows me knows that I guess I have a girlfriend, and last summer was kind of a rough summer for her. And yeah, she has epilepsy. Does anybody know that epilepsy? You have seizures, and like she was struggling with kind of taking her medicine because like she just didn't trust it, and like so she went to the neurologist, actually at GW, like ironically, and I guess somehow or another the wrong medicine was prescribed to her, and she I guess came down with, I guess, what is it called, a fatal disease called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. I don't know if y'all know, but it's kind of like a skin disease where it's like it works against you. It works, I guess, it accelerates your immune system to the point where it starts attacking. And yeah, so I mean, I couldn't really write her story about this because I wasn't in her shoes, but I can only write, I guess, where I stood with everything. So this poem is entitled The 2010 Summer. Her face has become more bruised than face. Her smile, the only survivor of her beauty, being conquered by a syndrome without bias towards her life, her dreams, her me. I have always thought myself to be a pious man. But to see God clearest when he is killing someone you need, it knocks a few screws loose in one's belief. And the 2010 summer was a thermometer's nightmare. A glorious thief of sweat and peace of mind, stealing it from my pores by the buckets. Nothing at all like how Ella sung, the living is not easy. I just pray there was enough mercy to go around. I stopped sitting rooftop on my faith amidst the flood in my eyes, awaiting the Lord to rip a seam from a cloud and begin sending miracles, shining down to heal her. Realized I couldn't trust the sky with a plea so important. Begin hoarding it all inside, trusting he'd simply find where my heart resides. My heart resides bedside to her. Discouraged, I need these machines to believe, but her IV is already mourning, crying itself a river, dripping teardrops inside her. I am dispirited by the heart rate monitor beeping the ballad of a steel organ, a wordless eulogy pulling me apart with such a loud type of silence. I am trapped in the shade of foreshadowing for a memorial on its way. Dismay lays thick in my chest as the days spread long into weeks. The sickness still rampant in the alleys of her bloodstream. The I love yous and goodbyes begin sounding too much alike. Our gaze is an afraid one. On visits, our eyes crash into one another's at the crossroads of our stare, frantic. Try as I may to bandage my arms around her. In the 2010 summer, my embrace was no aid. My smile, hardly her therapy. More of a gag wrapped around my face to keep the doubts from spilling out, to save the doctors, an earful of anguish. The doctors who pray to their paychecks look you square in the liability. Hollow chest of 10-man empty, styling their doubts into the most gorgeous of fickle jargon. Such beauticians of their own uncertainties, forcing you to find solace on your knees. Until one day, the summer lets its guard up. Its rain ambushes the sky, a million drops of God's answers, once impossible to find, now falling like needles, piercing through a haystack of clouds. No more whys, just thank yous. The most naked and unadulterated thank yous, uncaged from inside. The living, it's a little easier. The 2010 summer, I vacationed in the cloudy torment of her brow, but thank God for her silver lining of a smile, the stapled souvenir testifying wildly in my mind, urging me to always have faith. Thank y'all so much.